This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me, as always, my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today? That's good, man, but your face, you've too much of a smile on your face. You gotta look dead in the eyes.
Genuinely, I'm trying to nail the sounds of them. No, but really, when it pans quick to a shot where a lot of them and they go, it's like,
no, you're too enthusiastic.
Too
It's not coming
enthusiastic.
across.
Alright, well, I'll work on it.
Too dead. By the end of the episode, you should have it.
Hopefully.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode. We have new episodes every single Wednesday, as well as bonus episodes every other weekend. Normally, we do brand new films that have released in the cinema every Wednesday and bonus episodes under any kind of topic on the weekends. But every now and again, we do a spotlight episode of a film that came out years and years and years ago, and we just wanted to take some time and highlight it. So that's what we're here to do today. We're going to talk about Shaun of the Dead, film 2004. So we would have been only young gossins, only 7 years old when it's released.
Gossins?
Only you gossins, yeah.
Gossins,
yeah, children. Childer.
Wee ones. Wayans. Did you watch this as a child?
I wouldn't have been... Well, obviously, I was 7 when it came out. I wouldn't have watched it when I was 7. But yeah, kind of 9, 10. Yeah, I would have... it would have been one that, like, you see it on DVD and you're like, yeah, go on. And you kind of... When you find a DVD that you really like, you just keep watching it. It's like, okay, now I have to go through all the special features. Now I have to go through every aspect. I want to consume every part of this.
Yeah.
And that was one for me.
I always felt that this was slow, in parts, especially before all the zombies came in, because it really is just a romantic comedy. Mm-hmm. And I like...
It's a rom-com that turns into a zom-com.
Yeah, I think on the poster it says a romantic comedy with zombies.
Yeah.
As someone who doesn't like straight-up comedies, I love this as a comedy. Mm-hmm. I really love this. And it's not just the fact that it's... I think the element... and the narrative of the zombies in the movie makes the comedy feel more enjoyable for me personally, you know. And it's a well-made movie to the point where after watching it recently, I'm thinking, how was this not even considered to be nominated for a Best Picture?
Because it's twofold problem. It's a comedy and it's got zombies. It's scary and comedy. Oscars don't do that.
Yeah, well, Oscars are corrupted. Where are you at with this movie?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's not my favourite of the Cornetto Trilogy. The Cornetto Trilogy obviously being Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz and The World's End.
Yeah.
It's my second favourite, but it's one that I will happily watch whenever.
It's my favourite.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's my favourite. I love it. I love it that much.
And is that because you watched it before maybe Hot Fuzz?
Yeah. I even saw a teaser trailer or an ad on the TV of Hot Fuzz, and the two lads are busting through a room with an explosion going on behind them, and I'm thinking, is that a sequel to Shaun of the Dead? Regardless of how this movie ends.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a new movie with the same lads because they just look near identical. Like they look the same as they do.
See,
in
I
the
think
last one.
the reason why I like Hot Fuzz so much is because those characters are so different to these characters.
Yeah,
Like it's like it's like Hot Fuzz builds off of these two characters.
It builds on them because if you really think about it, Simon Pegg is an advanced person in Hot Fuzz than he was in Shaun of the Dead, whereas I feel like Nick Frost propels into a different direction but didn't advance himself. Like he's still an idiot. Do you know? In Shaun of the Dead and in Hot Fuzz. It's really...
In Shaun of the Dead, he's a bit of an idiot who's also a bit of a prick. Whereas in Hot Fuzz, he's an idiot, but he's a lovable idiot. I don't think of him as a prick at all in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah, they take away the prick, but Simon Pegg is more calculated, well-thinking, smart, physically able policeman. And he's just not that in Shaun of the Dead. If anything, they're polar opposites by the time in The World's End. That's when I think they're polar opposites. But enough about them. We'll get to them should we decide to down the line, if the fans want it.
Yeah.
But
all three of you.
So, in watching this recently, I am amazed at the variety of references of this movie being a parody of the zombie genre, as well as having so many callbacks and references. Like, if you get the script and remove any dialogue or jokes or foreshadows, which is more or less dialogue said twice, the script is going to be significantly short.
Yeah.
There is a lot of moments spread out the first act of this movie where something happens, an act or an action or dialogue, and it goes one way, mostly poorly, pretty much in the wrong direction you'd want it for. It goes for in the characters, whereas a zombie apocalypse had to happen for it to go well for our characters. One thing I'm drawing an example is very minor, but when they're sitting at the pub in the opening scene, Shaun, Huglops, and Ed fires a bag of peanuts at Shaun's head, his face. Next time peanuts is thrown in his direction, it's when they're hiding out from the zombies. David throws a bag of peanuts, and in comes Shaun's hand, and he catches it. That's one example. Another example is when he's threatening to climb the window to see Liz because she's angry with him, and the camera pans to the window into their gaff, and you think with the build up of the music he's gonna arrive up, but no, he rings the door and hi, it's me again. But it took a zombie apocalypse for him to best at to come out on top of that. There's loads of stuff like that callbacks and references. It
callbacks and references itself so often, and every time it does, it puts the joke or the sequence into a completely different context. It's exactly like that where you're saying where Shaun is getting the bag of peanuts thrown at his head and he's just kind of spaced out and like not paying attention to things, and then all of a sudden he's the leader of this group in a zombie apocalypse, or like that he's not really all that arsed getting up into the apartment, but now because the zombie apocalypse is happening, he has to be the physical guy.
And even smaller things when he taps the window he taps the mirror in his bathroom and Pete's standing there behind him saying, they left the front door open again last night. Next time he does that, Pete's silhouette from the shower curtain is there, and he's a zombie. And
it's a movie that it folds back on itself nearly of if it's referenced once at the start, somewhere along the way it's going to be referenced again. You said it there, like if you took out all of these things from the script, you're barely left with a script, because so many times do you hear the same line back again. Even something very, very simple as when Shaun bumps into his mate from uni, Yvonne, yeah, and she's like, "Oh, how you getting on?" And he's like, "Surviving."
Yeah,
that's that's just something you'd say. But then later on, when at the end of the zombie apocalypse, they come out of the Winchester, "How you getting on?" "Surviving."
Yeah,
at least someone made it, and she says that as well earlier on. Oh, at least someone made it out of college. You know, that kind of way. It's a movie that it's so cleverly written that because even though half the dialogue is repeated twice, you don't really notice it, and it's only on repeat viewings you go, "Oh, hold on, I remember that from much earlier on."
Yeah.
And I think the most iconic kind of double back, "You've got red on you," just from the pen.
It's very classic.
Yeah, and then as we go on, the blood, from a zombie apocalypse. But it's something I picked up on. I don't know if you picked up on it, but the events of the film are laid out before the film takes place.
I think there's one I know of.
Go on, what is it?
I only copped this recently.
Go on.
After Shaun is dumped.
Yes, okay, we're on the same page. After Shaun is dumped,
they're sitting at the Winchester.
They're at the back of the Winchester, and Nick Frost's character, Ed, says, "Here's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll keep drinking. We'll have a Bloody Mary first thing." What's the name of the zombie that appears in the garden?
Mary.
Mary. A bite at the king's head.
I'm assuming that's something in reference to
head of the family,
King Phil.
Yeah, a bite, so he's bitten. A couple at the little princess. So the little princess being
Elizabeth,
Liz,
Lizzie.
yeah, and the couple, the Di and Dave, they stagger back. So they do the zombie impression and have to stagger back to the Winchester and back to the bar for a few shots.
Few shots
at the bar. It's incredibly cleverly written.
I even forgot how captivating the opening credits was, where you see just random citizens of the London streets, staff pushing trolley carts, scanning groceries, or the bunch of hooligans or youths just bopping their heads to the music while Shaun of the Dead title is on the ground. Everyone's a zombie. Everyone lives their lives as a zombie. Even Shaun is living his life as a zombie.
Absolutely. Like it's throughout the film, not even just in that opening sequence when Shaun is on the bus. Like everyone in the background is like their like eyes just kind of glazed over, mouths open and everything like that. And
at one point there's a woman who looks like she's passed out. She's dead, and Shaun's like trying to edge his shoulder off of him and away from him. And even then, I love the little insert moments, even scene starters where it would be your man running away from something, from a bunch of sirens, but that camera stops as Shaun in the flower shop and he's getting flowers for his mother. There's another one where
it's all taken place the day before, and it's only the next day do we get the full on scale of it. But there are little hints of it throughout.
There is a lot of
even as he's flipping through the TV, do you know, in the shop when he's selling it, and the news is playing a little bit of it, and he's flipping back and forth between them
like a zombie, because he's just zoning out on that. And moments where he sees a woman collapse at a bus stop, or he sees literally a zombie pick up a pigeon and eat it. And there's a moment where, like, I didn't think of this at the time, I'm not comparing it, but genuinely did remind me of The Last of Us Outbreak. Not maybe so much all of that build up, but it's more so when they take Pete's car and they drive through their neighborhood and they see all varying sorts of situations. A zombie attacking their own family outside of a house. Zombie in a corpse bag left abandoned at a parked or crashed ambulance, and then a whole swarm of zombies just gathered around an area, a park, and they just escaped a bunch of zombies. And this is like their events of the Last of Us to get out of the city, because I noticed this as well, that on the radio all Londoners or citizens in the UK are leaving their homes, and they're at a standstill at all the motorways. And so, yes, this is happening everywhere, at least in England, but
we never see it from anywhere outside of Shaun's group.
This is literally just focused on Shaun here. It's all his perspective, and even then, when he's not in the movie, when we're not following his perspective, which is another creative thing I think they did for a movie like this, it's still pretty much focused on the relationships between these characters.
It's more so that we're following the group, and even though people will come in and out of the group, it still follows the group as a whole. So the group starts with Shaun, and then it includes Ed, and then they go and they pick up, who do they pick up first?
They pick up his mum Barbara and Philip.
They pick them up first, do they?
And then they go get Liz.
So we go and we follow the two of them, and then as we get Liz and Dave and Di into the group, that's the group complete. And then as we move on a little bit later, like, Barbara goes away for a minute. We don't follow Barbara or anything like that. And then she comes back into the group. And then later on, when they go to the Winchester, Shaun goes away for a bit. But we don't follow Shaun, even though he's the core centre of the group. And he's the main character. The group is no longer Shaun in it, so we don't follow Shaun. We're staying with everyone in there.
What I like to think about it, that as it is called Shaun of the Dead, it's about his relationships. His relationship with Liz, his relationship with Ed, his mum and his dad, no, his stepdad, and his non-relationship as a consequence with Di and Daphs, because they're friends with Liz. But it's not just about, well, no, it is about Shaun trying to become a better man, because it all starts with his flatmate Pete, to the point where Pete is trying to move on in life. You know, he's a suit wearer, I'm sure he's in insurance, or he's an accountant, and you know, he's sick of living in a house to stay as it is. Like,
I'm sure he's sick of just sharing a flat.
Probably. Welcome to the economy. But like, Ed is just playing PlayStation, and he sleeps on the couch. Doesn't pay rent, like. And whereas he's trying to move on, he's at the top end, Ed is at the bottom end, Shaun's caught in the middle, just getting by. He's content with his relationship with Ed, but he's trying to be something a little bit more, because he can have conversations with Pete, and when he can understand where Pete is coming from, but he'll also defend Ed. Like, even moments in that kitchen scene where he says, "Oh, leave him alone," and that's callback later on, but it's a callback that wasn't meant to refer to a zombie apocalypse. You know, that's how a lot of these references are done. They're done in the real world, they're mentioned in the real world, and they're called back again.
It's not like it's, hey, remember I said that earlier in the film or anything like that. It very naturally comes up, and because it's so natural, sometimes you don't even notice it being a callback.
And with Pete trying to make Shaun see how his life is going nowhere, that sort your fucking life out, mate. Like, that's a wake-up call for Shaun, because he's just been split up with Liz. He's not happy with his job. Barely making an appearance with his mother. Even though his stepdad Philip is going to see Shaun to give him reminders about, hey, you're going to see your mother. Things like that. And still, he's walking out of the house like a zombie, just strolling through the street.
Yeah, doesn't even notice that a zombie apocalypse has started.
But he does that the first time around, and he like, hey, you're dead, to the kid who hits a football at him. And then, sorry, can I have some change, please? Yeah, sure. And then he talks to the shop owner. No beer today? And you mentioned this as well. The second time he goes around to do that, do you want anything from the shop? He goes and he gets a Diet Coke as opposed to Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You pointed that out to me.
He's changing his life, man. It's one small step at a time.
He's trying to sort his life out. But
I think he's a funny character for, like, I think he's a man who wants to change, but also he can't with Ed there, or like he gets stuck on certain things. Ed represents like a part of his childhood or something like that, because he does say he's mates with him since primary school.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that day, the day where he gets broken up with, that day kind of does start with the good intentions of like, he's going to book the restaurant, and he just so happens to miss the call from Liz to say, oh, change it to 8 o'clock.
Well, he just flat out forgot.
No, so he misses the call to get it for 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then when she calls later, he's like having a bit of a like.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't cop this when I watched this recently, that he didn't want Ray Spall, who I learned even after watching it recently. That's Ray Spall. I had no clue that was him.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like him.
No, not at all. Because he looks like bigger. And,
I bet he probably is 17. So he's talking to Ray Spall. Ray Spall says, oh, yeah, how come you're telling us to keep our social lives out of our work, but here your dad is. And then Liz calls at the wrong time, and Shaun just makes the poor decision to...
He's like still showing off to him.
To stand taller and above than a situation. Oh, it's just Liz from head office. It's nothing to worry about. When it was the phone call that he really needed to salvage his relationship, because she's asking him, did you change it for 8?
And even if he couldn't change it for 8, it's like he just gets caught too quickly on certain things, because you could say he could easily turn around to her later on and say, yeah, look, there was a mix up with the booking and we actually didn't get it for 8. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But he's so stuck in his own ways where she goes, well, what are we going to do then instead? And his immediate thing is to go the Winchester. And it's like, why would you say that?
But that was Ed's telling him.
Exactly. He's stuck with Ed. Ed is holding him back, you know.
And
I think he sees Ray Spall's character as a kind of Ed, where it's like he's the younger. Shaun sees himself as that character.
Oh, he's 29.
He's like, he's 29. Jesus Christ. Oh, that hit a little bit harder this time watching it, because
it did.
We're a little bit closer to 29. But he sees himself as still the 18-year-old kind of guy, and so he sees Ed. Ed is that part of his life. It's the college friend, probably the college friend who didn't even go to college, just hung around with everyone.
Yeah. And watching it now, I felt like the scene of the breakup, that, okay, we're finally here. I thought that was slow moving, because I was a child watching this movie. I thought, come on, let's get to the zombies, all I want. Whereas this movie is really fast paced. Like it was a very funny scene as well. Oh, to the Winchester. Do you want to? No, I don't fucking want to. Like, I like hearing her say that while we're on the camera with Di and Daft, and you can hear off screen that he denies calling Di a failed actress, but he doesn't deny calling Daft a twat.
Yeah, I love
there's no hiding that he just does not.
It's
like
not even
him.
a love-hate relationship; it's a hate-hate relationship.
Yeah,
and in fairness, like, I fully understand it. Like, I hate Daft as well.
Yeah,
it's so obvious that he's in love with Liz. There's actually a really funny dynamic that the three of them have, and by three of them I mean Shaun, Daft, and Diane.
Yeah,
that Diane calls her Elizabeth, her full name.
Yeah.
Shaun calls her Liz, which is her nickname.
Yeah.
And Daft calls her Lizzie. And like, no one else calls her Lizzie. Like, it's like a weird kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, this is just my name for her, or something like that. That's what I always put on that. It's just weird that no one else calls her Lizzie.
Yeah.
Like, Ed calls her Liz. Her mom calls her Liz, or not, sorry, her mom, but Shaun's mom calls her Liz as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird thing that, like, oh, it's like, that's just my name for her, Lizzie.
Yeah. At this point, we've gotten enough, inserts of teasing that the zombies are lurking around the town. like we think a couple are shifting just outside of Winchester, and Shaun and Ed have their little chat, and they're talking about the interesting characters in the Winchester, which is all of it is just foreshadowing like Snake Hips and Coccidal Maniac and the John with the Winchester rifle. Dogs can't look up. That's nearly mentioned as much as You've Got Red on You. And then the two, I forgot how iconic I felt this was when Ed says it's not the end of the world, and then the zombie thudding at the front door, and you just see its silhouette and it's moaning. And I feel like if I was in that pub at that time, I would be shitting myself, whether I knew it was a zombie or not. But I'd like, can an adult say something? And it was like, sorry, we're closed. Good on John. Yeah, let him go to the rescue. But I was the silhouette, the shape of the hands going at the glass doors, like that's just one, but it happens all throughout. And the two of them hey when they leave the restaurant. Oh, sorry, haven't you got your cup of tea? And it blurs out of focus, but then his head comes off. The couple that supposedly were shifting, but no, she's eating the head of him because she's a zombie. And then you see another blacked out silhouette in the distance moaning to Ed and Shaun singing, and they're reacting to all the surroundings, all the heads up, look, there's zombies nearby you, as they're drunk people.
Everyone's just drunk, It's coming out of a pub, What more do you expect? I want to build on what you said there about the silhouetting of the zombies. I think it does it so well to create this tension and this fear without the high budgetness of having hordes of zombies or having really gross and heavy prosthetics or anything like that, because we get it a little bit later on, but not to the level of something like maybe The Walking Dead was or The Last of Us is with the clickers, but just having like one zombie silhouetted and like the music coming in and just like kind of just going down, and like, or even later on when Shaun is in the bathroom and Pete is there behind the curtain, and you know fully well, because they've foreshadowed a little bit, he said he got bitten by a crackhead or something like that.
But he probably reacted exactly the same way as either one of us would have reacted. Might have went to the hospital, but it's like, some crackhead just bit me. Because
you're not thinking that you're in a zombie film. But they do it a little bit later on as well with the in the Winchester, with the zombies coming to the windows and silhouetting them, and like realistically there's maybe 30, 50 people,
30 extras, that's all.
Whereas in other shows you'd have hundreds of people. But they do a lot with not a whole lot. You know, they use the low budgetness of it to their advantage.
They still do have a good load of shots where you see the zombies in all their makeup, the blood splatters, the injuries from their wounds that they got when they were bitten, whether they're injured by our protagonist.
They use it sparingly, but when they do use it, it's great.
Yeah, and their eyes as well. Their eyes are very...
eyes are just contacts,
are they?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but it looks a little distinct. And the way they like go about it, they do look like they're brain dead, essentially, with the stares and the awkward looks and the staggering. And then after the scene where Shaun goes through the middle of the street and just doesn't notice that there's a load of zombies lurking in the background, and he's passing dead bodies and all that, and then we get there's a girl in the garden, and they're probably reacting the same way.
We even forgot it. We forgot something right before it.
Did we? What did we forget?
Shaun coming down after their hard night of drinking the previous night. Do you want anything in the shop? And Ed asleep, lying back, Cornetto. Like, he just woke up for the Cornetto. It's great. What's the first thing you want in the morning? A Cornetto.
I never really thought much about that. Like, I was more so taken by the fact that he's sleeping on the couch.
That's his bedroom.
Yeah, essentially so. And when they're playing the Electra, not the hip hop, Shaun says don't scratch it when Pete scratches it off, but like they were scratching it when they were playing the music,
when they were
yeah. And then Ed says next time I see him he's dead.
Yeah.
And like likely so as it happens. But yeah, no, I suppose I know we call it the Cornetto Trilogy, and that was the signature Cornetto. But it's a
great name for a trilogy like that. This director and two actors consistently worked together and made 3 films, and the one thing that is consistent between all 3 of them is they feature a cornetto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's There's nothing else connecting them other than those things.
What did you make of the scene then with Mary?
I love how long it goes into the scene before they really do acknowledge that there's something wrong here. Because when she's coming up and Ed is joking about, oh, she fancies you, and then he's like, no, seriously, I've just gotten out of a relationship.
I love that little bit. Like he says that as if oh, it doesn't matter if the audience won't hear you. Like the fact that the character Shaun is saying it, like it's consistent enough and it's funny enough, and if you catch it, great. It's funny. And then Ed's first reaction is to go get a fucking camera.
2 seconds and he's away to get a camera.
That's another thing as well. That's Ed's thing as well. And hold it there. The thing I like about Ed is that he's not a man who's going to lead, but I like that he'll make a comment on something that might not seem right. Like he points out, like Shaun notices as well because she's on top of him, but Ed points out, did you look at her eyes? What's up with her eyes? There's a few other points as well, to say it now so I don't forget it, but like when Daphs is threatening to put a rifle to Shaun's mum's head because she's died, going to turn into a zombie, Shaun's the one who reacts and smashes a glass bottle, but Ed looks like he was about to do it. I won't believe he would. He wouldn't charge, he wouldn't take lead to do that, and he'll be thinking about it. Yeah, but he won't do it until someone else does it first. Someone else who's leading, someone else like his best friend Shaun. That's what I like. He'll back Shaun up. Yeah, he will back you up. Like he's get things ready, getting the Molotov cocktail ready, loads the rifle full of bullets because he knows I'm doing more important stuff here. But that aside, that I like even their reaction when Shaun pushes Mary up against like a metal pole, and Shaun's reaction is like mine, where cover your mesh, like, oh my god, what the fuck did I do? And Ed just goes, whoa, like, you know, bites his lip. It's like, fuck. And then he goes to try and take a picture. But
he just like, you can hear him just rolling the camera before Shaun knocks it out of his hand.
This is a standout moment for me when you cross the threshold from reality to, in this case, fantasy or the zombie world. Like the slow moving of the camera rising up with Mary getting out of the lead pipe, and there's a hole in her stomach, and the cue of the music, and just their deadpan reaction to her. Like that slow transition really felt like a transition into the real world, because I can't take off the top of my head when it comes to the reality being broken from our world to the zombie worlds and other zombie movies, whether it be Dawn of the Dead or 28 Weeks Later. But we're straight into after that because I think we should go back inside, and fucking Santa Claus is there with a big fucking scar on his head. And then
you're right, that's definitely the crossing of the threshold. That's when, oh no, now we're no longer in the rom-com, we're in the zom-com.
They're not drunk anymore.
No. Yeah. It's a very sobering moment. Yeah.
The news broadcaster as well, the man on the TV, like I thought that was pretty good as well. And the callback to the joke where we make sure all doors are shut and all windows are locked, and a thing that's to do with them is they don't lock their fucking door.
No.
And the fact that we can see at the far left of the frame,
see someone walking in, as we move closer into the eyes, that's actually something I want to talk to you about, because that's something that you've mentioned before in other things, is that what this movie does is, if you can't see it on the screen, it doesn't exist for the characters. But it does it here for comedic effect. Where it's once we see it, then the characters finally see it. How do you feel about that in this? Because it's used specifically for comedy.
Well, I like that it captures, like, it doesn't exist because it's not on screen, but I think it's done here in a little bit different way. How I feel is that because they slightly showed us a zombie walking into the house, but the frame zooms on the two guys sitting on the couch, the existence of that zombie, that extra stuntman, that actor walking into the room, that he's still walking, whereas the two guys are still performing. They did it with the letterbox again, like perfectly straight ahead is Pete's car, and no zombies in sight, and maybe it's not as bad as all that. Oh no, there they are, and the camera pans right,
pans over, see all them, and then you hear them as well. There's another one. Keep working on it. Still too excited. There's another one later on where Ed crashes the car, and Shaun comes in and he's like,
perfect one.
"Where's the car? Where is it?" It's not looking good. And then the camera goes over his shoulder, it like tilts up, and you can see the car smashed in behind him, and it's like, how did Shaun not see that?
Because we didn't see it.
Because it didn't exist until the camera sees it.
Ed was perfectly blocking it, even though realistically the way Ed was standing,
he's blocking the camera, but not Shaun. Yeah. I think the way that they do it works perfectly. Like the fact that things come into frame for comedic effect, I think it works perfectly.
After Ed killed the zombie, he's got an arm off. They make a decision to get all the knives and forks and sharp objects and toss them aside and get all kitchenware, all blunt objects that probably cheap as fuck and
plastic stuff
don't do any damage, and they whistle, "Oi, go for the head." They say so confidently to each other, and they just start firing a bunch of stuff at the two zombies, slowly walking towards them, and the side of the toaster hitting the zombie's head. And what I like about this, we'll have to get more stuff. Just in the shed. Oh, it's locked. Where is locked? It's always been up. Here, we got a... No, it's the second album I ever bought. And he fires the vinyl disc, and it cracks into his face. They must have gone around the house, back into the front door to get their vinyl records, because they're not going past those two zombies to into the back door to get the stuff. And they go back out to the back garden again, and the two zombies are still keeping pace, walking towards them. And they go back a bit to allow some safe space and distance, and they argue what finals they can
start flicking through them to make sure that Shaun's okay with what you're throwing at him.
But that'd be me. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be doing that as well.
The differing opinions on the records, because he says one and he's like, I like it, okay. You're not throwing that, I like it. Ooh, the Batman soundtrack, toss it. It's very, very funny. And even still, even though they've figured out that these things work to throw them at them, they're still a shit aim. They don't hit us. They hit them in the stomach. They don't do any damage, really.
And then Shaun decides, that's it, I'm going to the shed. Thought you said it was locked. Smash cut to Shaun just ploughing his whole
smashing
body
into the door.
Ploughing his whole body in through. And then the iconic cricket bat. And then the shovel as well. But the cricket bat's more iconic at this stage. And then the two of them just plant their blunt objects to the zombies as if they're not questioning the morality of possibly taking a life. But sure,
that's not for this movie. Not for this movie.
No, you get a few moments like that are like, getting a little bit too emotional or serious here and there. And then they come up with the plan on what to do to wait for all this to blow over. The editing of this sequence complements the frustration Shaun's probably feeling, because he's trying to come up with a plan to get his mom, deal with Phil, and save Lizzie. And like, the first plan is go to mum's, we take care of Philip, he says, and I'm so sorry, Philip. But every time he goes through the plan again, it's like, okay, we're short on time here, so I'll speed this up. Deal with Phil, sorry, Philip, and then smashes the shovels over his head. In this, the
next one, sorry, Phil. Next one, sorry.
It's speeding up so confidently, and like, Barbara's probably a face of shock and horror in the background, but she's happy as Larry holding Ned's hand. And then I think someone's carrying one of the women out from their gaff. They bring them back to the house, but it's not safe here, the state of it. And then they stay at Lizzie's, but they don't want to stay there because Ed wants somewhere to smoke.
He wants to know where the exits are. He wants a safe space. He wants the Winchester, the good old Winchester.
I think I remember the first time I watched this, and because they've gone through the plan again and then again, not that I'm thinking, okay, where are they gonna go? I wasn't thinking that, but like, the back of my brain was, and I'm a child thinking this, but like, oh my god, the Winchester, the one place that they shouldn't really be going, but it's the place they always go back to. And it took a zombie apocalypse to happen for Liz to say, yes, let's go to the Winchester. So they go get the music playing over the scene when Shaun's talking to his mother, and he's asking her, Mom, have you been bitten? No, but Philip has. Oh, okay. And the music
the
stops.
Relief of it all. Yeah.
And then Ed goes to her, has she been bitten? No, Philip has. Oh, okay. Even this is a reference to like the zombie genre where Ed goes, we're coming to get you, Barbara, because Barbara's the damsel in distress in the Night of the Living Dead movies. And then they go get her. Oh, this is after the incident with Pete being revealed that he's a zombie, and they take Pete's car, and Ed seems to be confident enough to like shove a kid zombie. This is a kid. A kid is dead on screen, but we're played off last, and he shoves him, get lost. And who kicked the football at Shaun?
Gotta be the kid.
It gotta be the kid.
What I like is the fact that the kid is not really in the way. It's like Ed went out of his way to push the kid. It's like he's had interactions with this kid before.
Yeah.
He's taking it out on him now. Finally,
Just like he's taking glory in the fact that he gets to drive Pete's car. And out of all the situations going on with a zombie apocalypse, he's more taking, let's put something else on, shall we? Like that's what's in his mind. And then he realizes that Philip owns the Jag. I'm not familiar with that car.
who owns the Jag?
But-
You don't know a Jaguar?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, the fact that that's what's on Ed's mind, he's willing to deliberately crash the car so
For a
he
chance, for an
a
opportunity.
chance. And then when after the scene where Shaun talks to his mother and Philip in their house, which feels like what your grandmother's house would be.
Yeah.
It really does feel like that. You know, he comes up with a plan and it just doesn't go out that way. He went in there thinking he's going to take care of Philip, but I guess even I at the time wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, what if Philip is just not dead? He's bitten, but he's not dead.
Yeah, and it's Sean's dislike for Philip overrides his critical thinking of, oh yeah, it's easy. I'll just go in, kill him, and then as soon as he gets there, he's like, oh well. My mom is like, it's my mom's husband for the last 15 years. She's not going to be just okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's going to have to convince her, and they have a conversation. It's like, how much do you love Philip?
Yeah.
And then she puts the knife down and she's so frustrated. She's like, we've had this conversation. Like, you know, in her mind, it's still Shaun just doesn't get along with Phil.
Yeah.
And in his mind, it's, oh no, it's much more serious than that. Like,
Yeah. Whatever he did to convince them to go with them anyway to the Winchester, I'm sure he said. This comes back to the idea of, if it's not on frame, it doesn't exist. It's in the scene actually with the crash car, Pete's car being crashed into the pole. I think we're either over Shaun or Ed's shoulder. Shaun calls back to Philip, probably to tell him, can we take your car? Can we go in your car? And as the camera pans with Shaun delivering that line, we see one of those blue-headed zombies, the hooligans, walking towards Philip, and like, shit's fucking gotten out of control here. Like, there's a few times where the pressure is on and Shaun's sliding over the car and he's putting the cricket bat to him. Philip
he's gone
gets
full
bit.
action movie star in this moment as well.
And he puts everything in the car, and like Ed cuddles up to Shaun's mother. Like he's trying to like. He's the type of kid that wants cookies from her, and he'll be the little angel that he'll want her to think that he is.
Oh, Ed's a nice boy.
Yeah.
Don't be so mean to Ed. Yeah.
And I like that even when they got into this car, as Ed, maybe I should drive. Oh, I've just adjusted the seat now, like given a nothing excuse, and then driving towards it, he's deliberately hitting into the zombies and playing the music. Like he won't give a rat's ass that Philip is complaining that the music is too loud, but when Barbara asks him, it's just a little bit louder, and sorry Barbara, and he turns it off completely. You know, Lizzie turns it off earlier and he gives Lizzie a dirty look. He gives Lizzie a few dirty looks throughout the movie when she's shrugging him off.
In his mind, she's broken up with Shaun. She's hurt his best friend.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like,
or maybe she's in the way of his best friend. You
Maybe,
know?
yeah.
Maybe it's just it's an interesting thing.
it's an interesting dynamic, absolutely.
But at this point, I like the one-or shot where Shaun goes, like he can do a little flip with the cricket bat and bash some zombies in the head, and then go to Lizzie's, convince them to join, and they get their own blunt objects like an umbrella and a piece of wood and something else. But at this point, Shaun's like perfected the art of smashing zombies with the cricket bat, and like he's going over, he's the only one doing all the action. He's clearing a path for everyone. Probably assuming that everyone else as well, and like he gets a whole like a tree of them all together, and he pushes them in and goes, ah! He smashes the fucking bat at them, and then Ed comes back along, and the car's cramped, and he's like, can you sit in David's lap? Ed get there fast, and Mom does his Liz, Mom. Everything's coming full circle, like properly. Like the script was well crafted, either long in advance or on the day.
It's tight. It there's no room. Well, I was gonna say there's no room for messing, but it's just like every piece of dialogue has a purpose to be there. There's no extra words that don't need to be said.
Yeah. What do you make about the Philip that scene then?
I think it's great. It's a great, like, because out of all of the characters, right, even though there are a few that die, these are the two that were most on the fringes of the group, because it's the only connection that they have is that they're Shaun's mum and stepdad, right? So him, most of all, is like the most on the fringe of, like, he doesn't talk to anyone other than Barbara and Shaun.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any interactions with anyone else. So,
But you can understand there's an acknowledgement between maybe Ed and Philip, like the fact that Ed could say, "What's happening? Why is he coming?" Like he doesn't like Philip just as much as Shaun doesn't. But like, there's no Pete doesn't tag along in the group. You know, Pete doesn't join up with anyone.
Yeah.
And like, you don't see Diane Daffs really interact with Philip.
No,
but
it's a nice little moment where Shaun comes to terms with, oh no, this is, even though I didn't like him, he was still a fatherly figure in my life, and he's the one, he gets upset when Phil dies. You know, he's like, he stopped the car, and he kind of goes a bit mad at Ed, like hitting the seat and saying that he's dead, and then at least they don't dwell on the sadness for too long. We get the emotional moment, and then straight away it's like, Phil's dead, and then Barbara turns around, it's like, no he isn't, and then we turn over and he's immediately a zombie, and it's like, get out of the car. And then the interaction where it's like, the man you loved is no longer in that car, and we see in the background the zombie Phil like reaching out as if they were trying to, if he was trying to reach them, but then just turns off the music, and like just like this breath of like, like peace finally. Yeah,
because there's that idea that there is an ounce of yourself in there somewhere. Here and there, like we get it with the ending scene, but like even there's a zombie using their wheelchair. Rather than getting up and crawling around, the zombie's using the wheelchair. Maybe that's why that the kid as a zombie kicked the ball that shot at Shaun. But
maybe that's why Pete went for Ed later on.
Yeah, probably so. But in that moment, I do always like that Ed just deliberately does not open the car for them.
The child is car the
child locked.
The car is child locked, and they get out of the car, and Ed is just staring at Diane Daffs, like hitting on the window, and Liz spins around, it's like, Ed, come on, like, what are you doing?
And this next sequence was great, where everyone's like in a single file, walking towards a similar direction, and they're seeing bits and pieces. You see Snake Hips, and then his little musical tune plays, and they're talking about the relationship, and then they bump into Yvonne again. There's a second time we see her, and she's got her little
mirrored group.
Literally, they're doppelgangers. And you know, not that I want a movie of this, but maybe like a comic strip or something like that to see. Oh, how did this day start for them, and where are they going? And like, rather than, so you got somewhere to go, we're going to Winchester, the pub. Like, where are they going? Why don't they stick together? Isn't she military? So like, you're asking yourself that. I didn't realise that was Martin Freeman behind her.
Martin Freeman or Matt Lucas at the back.
Matt Lucas at the back. Like, was he just gotten in for the day? And like, they all react the same way, and then they all pass each other in that like still camera shot. You're just waiting for the Nick Frost and Matt Lucas to walk past each other, and like, the two of them were on the phone the whole time, and then
barely look up.
All right. Then we're in the back garden scene. Well, we got the fence, didn't we?
I always thought Hot Fuzz came first, because I had seen the Hot Fuzz fence scene. So it's quite funny to go back and see that fence scene, because that takes place through all three films as well.
It's
to different levels.
The Cornetto Trilogy, but also features a fence scene. No, this is the first one I saw. I saw it in sequential order. You know, this is obviously the off-screen moment where Barbara gets bit, and I like that Shaun benches on a trampoline and over to the back garden. Like, Barbara's there with Shaun, with the door open, where a zombie in a man of his pajamas was behind, but where's he now? And then we're seeing Liz's perspective with the group, and you hear a little scuffle and shuffle going on, but like, what's happening there? You don't know what happens until Shaun's planted through the
because we stick with the group.
The
group is no longer with Shaun.
That's another part of me thinking something's taking place, something is existing, we just don't see it. Like, it's a step other from what you were saying that I always talk about. Like, if we don't see it on camera, it's not there. But in this regard, it is there, but we still can't see it. But it still captures the atmosphere. Like, that's a back garden. It's like I'm standing there right now, and it was a good enough scene to see, like, some people, and by some I mean the two women, try to help Shaun to take the zombie out, but he's the only one taking him out. Handing him the pole, yes, real confidence
with the tennis ball on the end, spins it around and it just bounces off your man's head, and it's like, no, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
And he plants the thing through the tree, and then one of the funniest moments of the whole movie, even the line delivery. I'm gonna go up here and check if the coast is clear. steps up in the ladder.
Stays exactly at the same level, doesn't go up with him, comes back down, and his face is just his face is just dropped. Is there many?
No.
No.
Many. Lots. And then
Then we get to see it all. Yeah.
the camera pans up and we see the whole city block, the whole strip of the corner of the building structure just blocked out. That's what I feel like. They got that for like half a day and for filming purposes, and they just blocked that off and just had everyone be there. And because of Captain Wow. I'll never forget that line. And like it's said very like off camera nearly because we're zoning in on Shaun. And then a callback to Di being an actress puts her skills to work, and she gets everyone to play zombies.
My favorite zombie impression is just the interaction between Ed and Shaun, where Ed refuses, I'll do it on the night, and Shaun's like, it is the night, come on. And he goes, or if you're so good at it, do it then. And he does it, and he goes, all right, yeah, fair play, that was pretty good. Like he just acknowledges, he's like, yeah, no, all right. They're not like arguing for the sake of arguing. He's like, if it's good, it's good. He's not gonna fight him on it.
I always paid attention to who was standing next to who in the line. Like, why is Shaun standing next to David as well as his mother? Why can't Liz be there next to him? I understand like Ed's standing next to Barbara, but Diane is at the far end and Liz is next to David. I don't know why I just paid attention like that. Like if I was standing in a certain group and I want to be closer to someone, just to keep them close, not get them separated so much, because a few zombies split the group a little. They go through Ed, and then there's some few go through other people as well.
Yeah. Just in case if the group got split, who do you want to be with?
Yeah. And I forgot how creepy this was, and the music plays a good job in the scene here as well. And the panic situation, they get noticed, and a few staggers start to notice that they're not zombies, threatening to break the window, which is a bit of a proactive decision. And Ed phones ring. 2 seconds. What really like about this, he's talking to the same man again as earlier, probably dealing with drugs. He's probably texting him the whole time. The fact that he has self-service and you can hear the dialogue. I actually watched this scene again, that you can hear the man over the phone and he says it's a bit mentalist at the moment. And Ed says, it's weird, isn't it? Talking about the situation at hand, that there's a zombie apocalypse taking place.
As you're surrounded by zombies. Literally.
Yeah. And then, like, the shock, like, what the fuck are you doing? And then this is the moment where...
I love that all the zombies stop.
Yeah.
They all take a break. They all let Shaun have his moment where he's just giving out to him. He's full tilt, just giving out. It's like, what? Why do you have to be like this? What's going on? Like, come on. Take it seriously, please. And then, like, stop for a beat and turn around, and all the zombies have stopped moving. They're all just staring at them, and then okay, now we can go back to it.
Yeah,
because they weren't in frame. They didn't exist.
Yeah, if this was another movie without the style that Edgar Wright was putting on, I'd say that. But that was for comedic chops. That was for comedic timing. And I don't blame the daffs for throwing a bin to the window. Like,
well, if you had just listened to Shaun, as Shaun was saying, there's a side entrance.
But where is the side entrance?
It's the one that Shaun got in.
And that's where they got in? I always thought they got in through the window.
They got in through the window, yeah. And then when they block up the window or whatever it is, and then Shaun comes around and he's like, yeah, come back to the side entrance, like I was saying to you guys earlier.
But they were still surrounded by the swarm of zombies. How are they going to get around them all together if Shaun didn't decide to make that decision to draw them all away?
Well, at least then there wouldn't have been a big open window. That's where Daphs dies. Through the big open window.
That's no. The window smashes. The window smashes with
right,
him.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the moment where Shaun's off screen. Like, good on him to go through a swarm of zombies and not get like even held, not to get taken. If that was Walking Dead, it's a different situation. But this is the moment where, for a few minutes, for a good long enough scene, Shaun's absent. When the genre movies happen where the protagonist is gone, and for a movie as early as 2004, not that that's old compared to the birth of filmmaking, but still,
yeah,
I thought
not often you see your main character just gone completely.
I think it gives a bit of room for Liz to take command a little bit, to give out to David, and to Ed, even Bond. Oh yeah, right you are, I'll get you a drink, because she wants a vodka. And yeah, then Shaun comes back in after a negative fucking negative daffs, like nothing. He contributes nothing but negativity and criticising and complaining to the group. And even then, when he says, yes, we don't want to advertise our whereabouts any more than we already have. Something that Lizzie already told him that. And like that's something Johnny English would do, and that pissed me right the fuck off.
You could see, yeah. Okay, yeah.
The creepy moment where Shaun goes back into the little back store to flip the power on, and he flicks a light, and to the next one there's the door where all the zombies are there. That always feels like that was like a hologram or a projector of zombies, and not that they're actually standing outside that door, because of the way they're all piled up against each other. You know, because it feels like some of them are like on step ladders behind them, because they tower up atop the frame rather than directly behind them.
Yeah, because it's a shot from from eye level.
Yeah,
you can't get the scope of how many are there, so they kind of nearly pile up behind. I get where you're coming from. Yeah,
but I think it was I don't. It's not a criticism. It's just
that's just how you feel. Yeah,
it's just an observation. It's all. And Ed plays the little jukebox music, and then everyone, and that was when he was giving it, "Get off me, Liz!" Like you can see it in his face. Not that they made a big deal out of it, but it's a nice little character moment. And then all the zombies, all the silhouettes come back, and they start, like you said, maybe 30 odd extras moaning at the background, and like this is consistent throughout. And then Shaun puts, I think, his hand on Liz's shoulder. Ed puts his hand on Barbara's shoulder. And then John puts his zombie hand on Daph's shoulder. And then John makes a plan for everyone to play a role in this while they try to take out the John. And how about pool?
As Queen's, what is it? Don't Stop Me Now is playing.
Yeah, you're right. Every time we hear that song, we think Shaun's dead.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I love the point that you made of this is the beginnings of Edgar Wright doing Baby Driver.
Yeah,
like
cutting visuals to the beat of the music. Like it was, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to doing a task like that, it's an easy one. The hitting of the John with the pool cue is synced to the Don't Stop Me Now, and great sequence, fun sequence. Even after the pool cues break, even when we're interrupted with Dash flicking all the switches,
he's even doing that.
His movement of the hands.
I love the shot of Diane and Barbara as Diane is kind of like dancing to the music just a little bit, like she's like going in sync with the hits.
And then Liz getting the fire extinguisher, planting it against his face. Even that's there. And then the dart.
The dart's going in the head.
Like Diane hits his arm. Yes. No. Misses. And then gets him. Says yes, in the head. Gets him in the head, but he got Shaun in the head. And there's perfect timing for. I like even the editing of this as well. Where a close-up shot of Ed, Shawnee, everyone looks, mid shot of Ed holding the rifle, and rather than him take charge, rather than him lead, he actually just gives it to Shaun himself, because he sees Shaun as the leader, but Shaun just plants his head into the jukebox,
because it doesn't work. The gun doesn't work.
Until he fires it.
Until it works. And he's like, alright, okay. But dogs still can look up.
Another thing that I never thought you should see your protagonist do, especially in a zombie film, is have incredibly shit aim.
Yeah. He is like 28 shots or something like that, and he misses, I'd say he misses 27 of them. Yeah.
I tried to count, but even then I forgot. But, earlier, Shaun was saying to Ed, top left. Nice shot. Like
it's a call back to them playing video games early on,
and Shaun's here using an actual rifle. Like the first two shots, he misses. He hits something on the wall, and the second fire knocks it down. It's like, are you deliberately trying to shoot at everything else bar the zombies? And that whole sequence when he's going through the two windows because the zombies are breaking down the chairs, smashing through the glass. While Barbara is revealed to have been bitten, talking to Liz. Throughout that whole sequence, he shoots one headshot to a zombie. Just gets one out of that whole massive setup. That's you don't see that in other like genre movies where the protagonist is supposed to be like the Vin Diesel of it all, you know. And so his mother dies, and it was another touchy, sensitive subject to film and be on screen for a comedy like this, and then to have Daft come in there to threaten to kill her. And
one time he decides to be a big man,
yeah,
is when he wants to shoot his rival, his love rival, shoot his mom in the head. Like, that's when you're going to step up. That's when you're going to be a man. You were a pacifist before, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, no, I get to cause some pain to this guy. Yeah, I'll do it.
And in this situation, it's here that they all reveal, yeah, come on, we all know you're in love with Liz. And even Dash tries to say, Lizzie, I want you to know that my feelings for you are, like, Liz is the one with her head screwed on here. So there's more fucking pressing matters here at the moment. And then she calms the group down. She makes everyone lower their weapons. And even Daft still gives Shaun the gun to say, you do it, because his mother is reanimated. And rather than being an attacking zombie, she just stands there all confused, if even. And she doesn't react aggressive at all until Daft shouts, do it. She reacts aggressively to Daft. As if, what the fuck did you say?
That's still like her little piece of, like a little piece of her is still there. You know, because it's Shaun that's in front of her and she doesn't want to hurt Shaun.
Yeah.
It's only when Daft says that.
Yeah,
she's
you're not my boy, and then Zombie Baby comes in, and I thought that was a good key moment as well. And even Daft, after he's punched by Shaun, because he's fucking Daft just couldn't keep his mouth shut, tries to shoot on, pulls the trigger and it's empty. And even then he tries to, we can run, we can defend ourselves, I'm not staying here. And Ed, in one of his many offshoot comments, I think you should go. Like, what about the blunt objects? Oh, do you want to get him? You know, shit, stuff like that. This is a good moment for Diane as well to call out Das for his shit and like shout at him and make him to get away from the door. Shouldn't have stood there at the window. Like, even in his moment where he could have had his little redemption, he was denied that, and he got the...
He doesn't deserve it. There's at no point throughout the film that makes you think, oh yeah, you deserve to get a redemption, or you should be seen in any way as a good guy.
But he was given the option to. And like...
He's been given so many chances throughout, but he never takes it up. You know, he just plays this like guy who thinks he's better than everyone that he's around.
Well, rather than giving the moment to, you know, let bygones be bygones, he's a bygone.
He's a bygone himself.
by giving probably the standout dash, the zombie-like dash for a red shirt in all zombie films.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of prosthetics that would have went into this for this actor. Like, literally being pulled out into the crowd of zombies and just have his whole fucking stomach ripped open.
Yeah, intestines pulled out, arms being pulled off, his head is pulled off, everything. They went full whack with it.
Diane, Liz and Shaun all immediately tried to pull him back in, whereas Ed tried to load the gun. Like, as if that whole heated argument that just happened
doesn't matter. It didn't happen.
Yeah, like survival instincts, like to help people, comes in, and Diane, like, this is the moment of the movie where, okay, now we just need the three of them. In the end, it's the third act, so we need to get Diane out of the scene. So how best to do that? Well, have her effectively open the fucking doors and hit the crowd of zombies with David's leg, so she can go after David to save him.
His leg as a blunt object.
Yeah. And every time it cuts back to the white shot where she's just fucking going into the crowd, like, you don't see her get devoured or eaten, but like, I don't care what special features or little narratives in like comic strips happen. To me, as far as that little boy saw this movie, she fucking gone when she went into that crowd. Like, she's gone out of the movie, but like, she's dead. Like, you can say, yeah, because there's a few comic strips that
they were in the special features, and she climbed a tree and stayed there for a few days and ate from David's leg.
I'd rather think of it like, yeah, she went into a crowd of zombies, and you can hear her shout at David a few times, but like, everything went fucking 90 in one moment.
It fully scaled up from there. Once the doors open, it's like,
nuts. They just start plowing through the doors, and it's like,
it kind of nearly stops being a comedy and just goes full on zombie movie.
Yeah, like, full on survival, like a real call to arms. Like, Liz gets a fucking coat hanger rack to stop them in their tracks, whereas Shaun's trying to get as many headshots as he can, and he just maybe gets one. And
Ed has the Molotov.
Yeah, great fucking thinking. It is great thinking. It just so happens the door pulls him, breaks open, and those zombies pull him in. He runs back out. Rather than continuing to fight, he says, Shaun, look who it is. Fucking Pete made it all the way to the Winchester. Shaun invited him, you're more than welcome to join us, and he made it that far in, and you know, he tries to bite him, he gets him in like a chokehold. Don't go on at me, you thick fuck. And like, this movie does something that you're not supposed to do.
Kill the best friend.
You kill the funny guy. Like, even the music screamed 90 when your one came back to bite Ed in the neck, and then he's getting bit in the arms. Like, no! Like, our reaction is exactly like Shaun's when he shouts at that. And then he shouts, Pete, I said, leave him alone. Headshot. Right to the eye socket. when Pete goes down, Ed's already covered over by a bunch of zombies. Just his legs are revealed, and then the two of them just head to the bar, Shaun and Liz. And even though the whole bar is just crowded by zombies like a Saturday night, somehow Ed still managed to jump over them all and land in behind the bar. And typical Shaun thing to do is to light the bar stand on fire while leaving the bullets there.
Yeah. Where are the bullets? Oh, they're on the bar.
Yeah.
He's to run back up and it's too hot to get them.
Yeah. At this point when he said, "Oh, give us a fucking break." Yeah, I feel like that. Like, too much has happened too fast.
They've had no wins at all today. Yeah.
In a span of 5 minutes, they've gone from a secure environment to, how the fuck are we going to get out of this now?
Yeah.
And
the place is on fire. So many zombies. They've lost Barbara, Dave, Diane.
Yeah.
Ed's been bitten. Like, it's for...
And that was the big dig of all. Like, Ed's the funny man. You're not supposed to kill him. It's like, what monster wrote this? And then they go into the cellar and then they're trapped. And then they have a little, like, peace talk and reflect. And if Shaun didn't quit smoking in Liz's flash, Liz would not have had the cigarettes and lighter for them to have the last smoke, which the lighter indicated, oh, what's that behind Shaun? The buzzer, the button to
get up the service elevator. Yeah.
And even after talking about maybe, you know, killing each other, which is a heavy subject in its own right for a movie like this, Ed decides to stay. You know, a call back again. I'm only holding you back. He's holding him back because he's bit and he's dying and he will turn into a zombie, but that's in the zombie situation. It's not what holding you back meant in reality, because he's holding Shaun back in his social life, his romantic life, his entirety. You know, it's just another callback to between the two worlds of the reality and the zombies. You know,
it folds back on itself, man.
I'd reckon Ed would be a better shot than Shaun at this point. For some reason, like, we never see him, but he gives him the rifle, and I imagine, I bet he'd actually do what Shaun was suggesting: kill a few if they stand in a row with using one bullet. Like, I think Ed would actually do that better. Even the fart joke, like,
that was a callback, from the start of the film as well.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Shaun. No, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing.
And it's
a real sad moment when that happens as well. Like, you know, it's the two, laughter turns to tears a little bit.
The two butt heads, and says, "You better be off. Bye, Ed. Love you. Cheers. Love you too, Ed." Gay. A great final line. And you know, they were up. Shaun and Liz are outside of Winchester again for a good few seconds there, while zombies literally got into the cellar. And I'm thinking, what's Ed doing? You know, comic strips aside and the bonus features, but now, like you said, the one time the military does something great,
the one time a competent military comes in,
like the way they entered, it's as if their trucks blasted through doors or something like that. Like, it feels like they busted into, like, the Winchester doors or something like that. It feels like, you know, revolving doors or swinging doors opened up for their grand entrance, and all zombies on site, and they pump a load of bullets. I think I remember drawing this in, like, pictures a load of times as well. I used to draw a lot as a kid of all the zombies stuff. And then Yvonne shows up again. She has a little golf club hitting the two biker zombies. How you doing? Like you said, surviving. Glad somebody made it. The military obviously found her, or she found them, and she thought you might want to tag along. Like, she came back for them. I only thought of this since watching it recently, but it felt like Yvonne is Shaun's angel on his shoulder. Really, she does show up at the right time for him. Shows up for him to be reminded that, oh shit, I need to book the date. Shows up again for a bit of a midsection, if not for the simple fact that, yeah, she's a character that still exists. Everything happens in threes. And she shows up again to save them. And then that's it. They hold hands and Liz and Shaun are back together. Epilogue.
A nice little epilogue. We're back at the house. We see it's been improved upon. It's got the woman's touch.
Yeah.
It's clean for once.
We see the news segments again of how
the world has been moved past Z-Day.
Yeah, they're having some zombies still do like lower tier tasks, like your man Race Ball, Noel
pushing the trolleys in. Yeah.
Struck him with words. And then even the little funny scene, the little game where zombies are like on a string and they're trying to reach for the chicken or the piece of meat. And then you won on the Trisha show, say, oh, he's still my husband, I still love him. You know, you go to bed with it. And it is the second time Shaun stumbles in his hallway we track on his feet up to his head and he's yawning. You hear, oh, is he a zombie? You're like, no, he's just yawning. And then rather than Shaun making a plan, it's Liz who makes a plan for the day. And then, can I have 2 sugars, please? Because he never took sugar before in his life, in his tea, and now living boldly.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they don't smoke anymore, but take sugar in his tea. Actually, I might pop in the shed for a minute.
Go on then.
Like in his little man cave. If this was any other movie, I wouldn't like this.
Really?
Yeah, I think the build-up of this movie, having gone through everything we have exactly as it is, I would not have accepted happily the fact that Ed is shacked up, living like an animal in the shed, and Shaun goes out to play the video game with him from time to time. And you said this as well, like he tries to bite him, you know, in his introductory reveal that Ed is in the shed with Shaun as a zombie, and he tries to bite him, but he doesn't try to bite him after that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
he
like,
gives out to him and he's like, Ed. And
Yeah.
then he's like, he kind of accepts it, and then they go back to playing the video game.
yeah, but it looks like Shaun's able to play better now, unlike Ed, because Ed, he's more dull and slow moving. But yeah, like Ed is a zombie. He's an undead person. Like he's reanimated. Like in any other zombie movie, literally. That's not something to really laugh at or be happy with. You know, you want them to be put down, but because it's Shaun of the Dead and the way they treat zombies and the satire of it all, it's a laugh. It's happy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I'd end it really different any other way.
No. I think it works perfectly. Bit of a laugh.
Bit
of a laugh.
I give it 5 stars.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant. I think it's great.
Yeah, this movie, right? Having watched this so many times, mostly as a kid or as a teenager, I've become accustomed to the words in the dialogue, or the blocking of the cameras, or the visuals on screen. I've become so accustomed and self-aware, and everything is second nature to every scene. It's like I need to watch it with another person to take in new information.
Yeah.
Do you know?
You're waiting for certain things that you already are aware of. And,
Yeah.
and the new stuff isn't there. Or the new stuff is there, it's just you're not looking for it.
Because of how much I've watched it, I've become a zombie in my own right. To watch it, expect what's coming, know what's happening, down to the Captain Wow dialogue. But it's nearly monotonous now. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like a zombie. And if I was watching it with you, like I did, or if I watched it with someone else for the first time, and they react to certain things that maybe I wouldn't, because I just know everything left, right, and center. I would not have noticed things that I would not have picked up on if they didn't react. You know?
Yeah. So you didn't notice the Coke and getting the Diet Coke scene.
Well,
and that's only something tiny that I noticed
Well, you
one
see,
time I was watching it.
I did notice he got the Diet Coke. One reason, because I drink Diet Coke over Coca-Cola. But I didn't realise that he picked it up because he's trying to change his life better. I just noticed he picked up Diet Coke this time as opposed to the Coca-Cola, which is great. It's just little things like that.
Yeah.
And for things like that, moments like this, for reactions, for movies we haven't seen forever, make me enjoy watching them again.
Yeah.
Down the line.
Absolutely. Brian, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty satisfied with Shaun of the Dead. Is there any final points that you wanted to hit?
No,
Still a little bit too enthusiastic. But
but you get the
I get the gist. I know what you're going
for. The sound they make is really like satire.
Yeah.
Like it's not
taking the piss.
It
out
is
of the zombies.
taking the piss
Yeah.
of the zombie mode
Of
at this
course.
point. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me, Brian, for this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you are subscribed to us on your favourite podcasting app of choice. You can leave us a 5-star rating. You can leave us a little review. Tell us what's your favourite part of Shaun of the Dead. What's your favourite in the Cornetto Trilogy? If you'd like to hear us talk about more entries into the Cornetto Trilogy, maybe we'll do that at a later date. But you won't know about that unless you're subscribed, so make sure that you're doing that. We've new episodes every single Wednesday, as well as bonus episodes every other weekend. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
How about that for a slice of gold?
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, boy.